Today, what we've got for you is a bit of the T20 Women's World Cup. New Zealand versus India in the Test match. Bangladesh versus South Africa. Pakistan versus England. Sarfraz, Ravindra, even a bit of Pant as well in the lineup. And we've got a few questions out the back end for you as well. There's timestamps downstairs as well, so whatever floats your boat, if you want to go straight there, just flick on the timestamp. But enjoy the vlog. New Zealand have had a great 24 hours in the world of cricket. Their men's team beating India after 36 years on Indian soil was sensational, and then their women's team winning the T20 Women's World Cup for the first time. Susie Bates got them off to a great start in the final with a wonderful 30, and then Amelia Kerr threw those middle overs, controlled it with a brilliant 40, and Holiday powering away at the back end with a quick fire 30, getting New Zealand to 158. Now, in the women's game, chasing 158 in World Cup cricket has only been done once. And in a final, it was even going to be harder. South Africa had their backs to the wall. But Volvaert and Brits came out and showed that they had a bit of grit. They got 51 on the board in quick time, putting a little bit of pressure on New Zealand, making them start to think a little bit. But then Brits lost a wicket, and Amelia Kerr was able to control the middle overs with a spin, picking up 3 wickets, and the South African batting lineup capitulated to the pressure. Amelia Kerr, wonderful performance in the final, wonderful performance throughout the tournament, leading wicket taker. She deserves to be woman of the tournament as well as the woman of the match in the final. South Africa and New Zealand were definitely the two best teams going throughout the tournament. In the power play phase with the bat, South Africa were going out 70 runs per wicket, the best strike rate of the tournament through that phase. New Zealand were going out 190 runs per wicket through that power play phase, but didn't have as good a strike rate as South Africa, but wickets in hand provided the right ingredient for them to finish off the innings. South Africa in the final or backstage of the tournament were the best with the bat there too. When it came to the ball, South Africa and New Zealand were best in the power play phases, picking up wickets out a very economical clip as well, and New Zealand were able to control the back end with the ball as well, picking up the most wickets in that phase. So if you control the front end and the back end of a T20 game in both departments, you're giving yourself the best chance to win the tournament, and that's why these two were in the final out the back end. I want to make special mention to the West Indies. They performed or had the best game throughout the tournament. They were the only team to chase down a total over 140. England put on 141 and West Indies did it easily. Joseph and Matthews had a wonderful partnership of 100. Joseph got dropped 5 times. England, what were you thinking there? But that performance kicked England out of the tournament. So well done to the West Indies there. And India, they had most runs on the board through the group phase. They scored 524 through that group phase, but the issue for India moving forward is they've got to be better in the bowling department. They are the only team to go for more than 500 runs with the ball. And they lost to Australia in a good run chase in their final match, but the net run rate was costly because they got belted by New Zealand earlier on. So India, they have to work on their bowling moving forward. Now let's just go through the team of the tournament that I've got for the Women's T20 World Cup. I've got Volvaert from South Africa opening the batting up front, and she's there with Hogg from England. So both of them had a good average at a good strike rate. Harmanpreet Kaur from India is the captain. What a wonderful game she had, or wonderful tournament, an average of 150 at a strike rate of 133, probably the best bat of the tournament. Then I've got Cap coming in at 4. She's an all-rounder. She can go up and down the order, but out number 4, she had an average of 30 at a strike rate of 145. And then Dotton coming in at 5 from the West Indies, 61 out a strike rate of 164. Perry, the all-rounder, coming in out 6. Amelia Kerr, 7. And then the keeper that I've got here for this tournament is from Bangladesh, Nigar Sultana. She had some wonderful performances against both South Africa and the West Indies, and she's deservedly got a place in here. She was the best wicketkeeper throughout the tournament. Annabelle Sutherland from Australia, I felt was the best medium pacer, both up front and in the back end as well, and can hit some big sixes. And then I've got Carson from New Zealand with a right arm off spin coming in out 10, and Lubber from South Africa, the left arm off spinner, with her 12 wickets at 11.3 with an economy of 5.67. You can't leave her out of this team. I thought Laba was probably the best bowler of the tournament as well. I really liked the way that she was able to operate through those middle phases, and she wasn't scared to throw it up with that left arm off spin, creating those chances. That's my summary of the T20 Women's World Cup. Make sure you get your comments downstairs about that. Now let's move on to the test match between India and New Zealand. Rawalpindi won the toss, elected to bat. That's the right thing to do. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, whether you're travelling and there's a green wicket, you want to try and get through that first hour, because batting conditions are generally the best on that first day. And you don't know what's going to happen out the back end of the game as well, as we saw in this particular test match. If India had a few more runs with the unevenness of the pitch, they would have had a chance of winning the test match. And you look at it, they got rolled for 46 runs in that first innings. There was a lot of luck there for New Zealand as well, but give credit to New Zealand. It was seaming around, it was up and down, but they didn't chase the wickets. They were just concentrating on that good line and length. And that was great mindset. So New Zealand controlled the situation well. No luck for India. New Zealand got in front of the game. But as we move forward, if you're an Indian fan, don't be too alarmed, because the second test match is going to be a different story. The way that India stayed in the match, kept fighting, got a lead, and then came out and tried to bowl New Zealand out, even though New Zealand got the runs within 2 wickets. They had courage, they had fight, and the mindset was there. They have got a winning spirit, as we saw against Bangladesh, going after the bowling, willing to be bowled out, being behind Bangladesh to give themselves a chance of winning the game when they had lost days of cricket. They did the same thing here against New Zealand. They thought, right, we can get in if we can get 100 runs in front, we're still a chance. So they've got that fight, so don't worry about it. I want to concentrate on Ravindra. I thought he batted superbly in the first innings. Against pace, I like the way that he waits for the ball late, especially when the ball's seaming around. He's got good control when the ball's short, and when it's over pitched, he's willing to play those cover drives. He's got the complete game against pace. When it comes to spin, he uses his feet well. He gets right back if it's short, to cut, to back foot drive, to pull, or to work the ball. If it's full, he's prepared to use his feet, and he plays the sweep shot well as on top of all those other assets. Ravindra, I'm really looking forward to seeing how he continues this series. I think he's a quality batsman, and I think he's going to be someone that takes over from Kane Williamson and leads this New Zealand batting lineup moving forward. I also like the way that Conway just uses a little bit of composure. If you watch him, especially in that second innings when things were tough, he was just taking a few deep breaths in. He was closing his eyes. He was just having a little bit of meditation there. He was trying to put himself in the best mindset to be able to get through that tough period of chasing down 107. Didn't go his way. He got a good ball from Boomerang, but he was putting himself in the best frame of mind to give himself a chance of doing the best job for New Zealand. So that's something that young players can take away, just how he approached those tough moments. Sarfaraz Khan, really like this young kid. The way that he was back foot driving the quick bowlers, cutting, manipulating the deep field, but just utilising timing. And then the ramp shots. Looks like he's a quality player that should have been playing international cricket a lot earlier. He's very good against the spin as well. But there's one thing that I'm worried about Sarfaraz Khan moving forward if he goes to places like England, South Africa, and if he's on the tour here to Australia where there's extra bounce, he might find himself in a little bit of trouble with the way that he sets himself up before the fast bowler delivers. Those hands are very low. So he's got to bring them up, and when it bounces a little bit, when there's that extra bounce, it's going to be it's going to be a little bit harder to adjust, especially with the extra pace on those wickets as well. So that's something that he might look out with his technique to just have a slight change before he gets down here to Australia. But people are talking about the second test match. If Gill is fully fit, who's he going to come in for? Sarfaraz or Rahul? I'd bring Gill in for Rahul now. You've got to play Sarfaraz in the next game. He's made 150, nearly a match-saving 150 under pressure. You've got to keep that momentum going. Rahul's had his opportunities, hasn't taken those opportunities over the last couple of test matches. The bloke that is in form, get him in there. And if Pant is unfit as well, will they play Dural or will they keep Rahul in there to do the keeping? That I'd go with Dural, because you want that backup keeper who's going to be the future of India moving forward. And there's another comment there that I've seen is Pant getting out in the 90s a lot. Is it mindset? No, well, it could be. I think there are moments there where Pant gets in those 90s, especially 99. I just need one to get that 100 rather than aggressive mindset. So there is a slight shift in the way that he approaches it in the 90s. He doesn't have that carefree factor that we see during the rest of his innings. So that's something that he might look forward to in the future. That is, not look out the scoreboard, just go out there and keep smacking it. Don't worry whether he's on 90 or 0. Play the same game that you play with the whole time. Don't change for the situation. Now, I'm going to go in and have a quick look at England and Pakistan. Pakistan are a little excited now that the series is 1-1, and they found a bit of England's kryptonite in spin. But they were on a used wicket out Multan in that second test match. They want the same up in Rawalpindi, but it's a fresher wicket. And you're up against a team that scores quickly. Whoever wins the toss in Rawalpindi will win this test match if it's spin friendly. But if Pakistan have to bat second, England have the quality of bowlers to be able to negate Pakistan, both in the spin department and pace department, where they can get the ball to reverse. But if England are the team that bats second, because they score quicker than Pakistan, they still give themselves a chance of winning. For me, I think Pakistan are a little too excited, looking to have a spin-friendly wicket again in Rawalpindi, but on a fresher wicket, it's not going to have the same effect. And I think England are going to win this third test match and take out the series. Now, we're going to go over to Bangladesh versus South Africa. I think this is going to be a series where Bangladesh will win the test match in Dhaka, but when they go to Chittagong, it's going to be a bit of a different story there. But Shakib Al Hasan has finished and retired from international cricket. I think this is a good thing because injury is starting to plague him. He's not batting his best. It's also affecting his bowling, but I think Bangladesh have to move forward. They have to get some young players in their system. They have to create a strong culture around youth and be prepared to be sort of behind the 8 ball over the next year or two, but give these youngsters some experience. And if you can create a good culture around a good quality bowling lineup, as well as batters who are starting to find their feet in international cricket, being a young team, they might be able to turn things around and start challenging opposition teams when they travel outside of Bangladesh. They've got to go for youth and they've got to develop, and hopefully that will pave the way for a little bit of success in 2 years' time. Right, let's just have a quick look at some questions just to finish off this vlog, and these from you, the fans out there. Thanks very much for joining me. Sahil Singh 02. We've got Rohit Sharma. Should he stay out the Mumbai Indians considering what's happened? Yes, he should. I think Hardik Pandya coming in to captain the team is a good thing, because Rohit is under pressure captaining all teams for India over the last couple of years, so he's been under that pressure. So he needed a little bit of space, and I think Mumbai did the right thing by getting Hardik Pandya into the lineup. Hardik Pandya doing well for India now. Hopefully next year that he's going to be in his second year in a row with the Mumbai Indians, the crowd just get a little bit calmer and get behind him, because it was quite rude what happened last year. Yes, you've got your fans, you follow your particular players, but there are times when changes have to be made, and Mumbai needed to make that change both for themselves and also for Rohit Sharma's mental state at that stage. As I said, there was too much pressure on him. Let's move down. Another one for Mr. XYZ93. Mr. XYZ. Should MI retain Anshul or Nahal under uncapped retention? I don't think they should retain any of their uncapped players. They might be able to get them for a little cheaper in the auction, but if you're going to go between both of those players, I'd go with Nahal. I thought he did extremely well in some tough situations for Mumbai Indians, getting them over the line with victory. Being able to handle that type of situation, especially lower in the order, it might be worth an option to try and retain him, because Nahal will be the one that other teams might look at, hoping that they can pick up someone a little cheap to help with that back end batting. But Nahal, if he doesn't get kept by Mumbai Indians, he might go for a big price in this IPL auction. So that's a good little question that you've got there for me. And continuing on with the retentions, we've got one here from 9629.Vignesh official. Your opinion on Henrik Klassen's retention? I think he is vital for Sunrisers Hyderabad in that lower order. I don't think you get a better player against spin on those Indian conditions. He's able to sweep, use his feet, but spinners in T20 cricket are looking to bowl quicker, looking to bowl a little shorter, and he gets right back and he's able to muscle it for those boundaries through those middle overs. He's the best player of spin in T20 cricket at the moment through in IPL. You've got to keep him, and he is a huge asset for Sunrisers Hyderabad. Now, I hope you all enjoyed this vlog. A little bit longer, but there's so much cricket going on. Hopefully we can do a lot more of these vlogs moving forward. How would you like me to change it up? Would you like something different in these vlogs? Because I want to help you out there as the fan and make sure that it's entertaining for you. So thanks very much for joining me. Have a great week of cricket, and I'll see you on Friday when I do a live on Hogg Out. Thanks guys, stay safe.